And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb and Friends here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. If you guys are new to us on Amazon, welcome. Glad you all could be with us. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button, though. You can see it here in this corner or down below. We're excited about this episode of Cyrus Webb and Friends because we have someone who's making their first appearance on our broadcast. Had a chance to interview celebrity stylist Ryan Christopher on Conversations Live, the radio show. He's making his very first appearance with us on Cyrus Webb and Friends with our co-host today. We have joining us today Chanelle Coleman Wesley. We have Tanya White and Dr. Teresa A. Smith, Dr. Taz. I want to talk to Ryan not only about the year that's been 2024 for him, but his remarkable career, some of the great things he's been able to do, and of course that you guys know how to stay connected with him. We also are simulcasting our broadcast. So we welcome those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. But how's everybody doing today?
Wonderful.
Doing wonderful.
Look, appreciate you being on with us, Ryan. Again, congratulations to you, Ryan, on what's been a remarkable journey. You know, when you and I first met, as I mentioned, I've had you on the radio show. I want to begin with this question, Ryan. I mean, you've had quite the 2024. What has it been like for you to reflect on this year and all the blessings that have been coming your way?
Oh, wow. That is an amazing question. I think when I reflect back on 2024, we still did have 2 months in the year. So who knows what could happen in those 2 months. But just reflecting back from the previous months, it's just been amazing. I've been in awe at some of the things that I've been able to do, some of the blessings that have come upon me, and just the rooms that I have been in. So I am just thankful, and I'm always just very humble. And I always just kind of just give homage to the hard work that it just shows that your rooms will make room for you. What is the saying? I'm messing up my words, but your gifts will make room for you. That's it. And I am a living testament of that when I look back at this year.
Yeah, such a great thing. We're going to pick up on that conversation a bit later, Ryan. I want to turn it over to Chanelle. I have the next question for you. Chanelle, it's all yours.
Thanks so very much, Cyrus. Ryan, I'm so excited to be able to be with you on today. I am definitely a huge fan. Let me first of all start with that.
Thank you.
And your gift definitely is making room and opening doors for you. So congratulations on everything that's happened for you in 2024 and beyond.
Thank you.
Pleasure. So my first question is just that your gift is helping people to feel empowered by the way that they're dressed. So I wanted to know, what was your go-to move if you're feeling like there's a client who really wants to be able to showcase who they are? What's the go-to signature move that you always say, I'll start with this, I recommend this?
Oh, wow. That is an amazing question. And it's sort of one of those things that is something when you say you want to feel some empowered, the go-to thing is something that will make them comfortable. You know, the whole thing about being Ryanized is really evoking who the person is. That's why I come up with this whole Ryanized thing. So when I really want to make them comfortable. And so that could be several things, whether it be, everybody knows, like, I love extremely high heels, right? Now, I'm a man, so I don't wear high heels. So, of course, I don't know how they affect my feet. But I hear they're not very, very comfortable. Yeah. So even if it's just something as simple as putting my client in a lower heel shoe to make them feel more comfortable, make them feel more like themselves versus me trying to put them in a 5-inch stiletto. If it's something, put them in a loose fitting outfit, versus a form fit outfit, just to make them comfortable. So those are a lot of go-to things. My go-to thing is just to make them comfortable. And that can be several different things.
I love it. First of all, I've been watching the videos, and I love when they jump down and their clothes are changed. So I know all about being Ryanized. I said, one of these days when I grow up, I'm going to get Ryanized too. So let's put that out there. I love it. I love the videos, love everything that you're doing. What's one personal mantra or affirmation that you kind of say to yourself to make you feel good? And what's a piece of advice that you wish you had known at the beginning of your journey?
Okay, the great questions. Affirmation is, you never know who's watching. Keep going and always put your best foot forward. That is my number one affirmation that I always tell myself. Even just recently, I received a text the other day and I was like, oh, wow, you just never know who's watching. So you always want to put your best foot forward and keep going. The second question, give me the second question. Oh, piece of advice.
Yes, piece of advice that you wish you had known at the start of your journey that you could have told
Oh,
yourself.
wow. I think a piece of advice is for me that I wish I would have known at the start of my journey is, and you may laugh at this, is to, take care of your credit, because in this business, you need a credit
Okay.
card with a high limit. And if I would have known that when I was 18 and
Yes.
19 and 20, instead of tearing my credit up and making it harder when I feel like this, when I made this as a career choice, life would be so much easier.
Tell it to me. I mean, I wish you had told me that piece of advice too. I'm definitely resonating with it. Ryan, it's definitely been a blast. I'm wishing you nothing but continued success. And I'm going to pass it over to my girl, Tanya.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Ryan. Look.
Hi, how are you?
I love what you said, Ryan Nice, because I say everybody needs to live in a land called Tanya. So,
Okay.
Listen, Ryan Nice, before people can be Ryan Nice, you have to embrace the totality of who Ryan was, right?
Yes, yes.
And so somebody who is looking to get into not only fashion, but whatever dream, I believe, and it took me years to do this, to be fully who I am and embrace flaws and alls. What are 3 traits that you could tell somebody who is wanting to go in fashion, and you come from Birmingham, Alabama, first of all,
yes.
So you had to dream and think outside the box as well.
Yes.
What would you tell them 3 work traits so that they can eventually have somebody, not Ryan Nice, whatever name they are? I call it living in Tanya land and flowing in the Tanya-ness. So what are the 3 work traits?
Oh, God. Let me say, the first one I'm going to say is non-procrastination.
Yeah, come on, Ryan.
But being human, even I procrastinate. But non-procrastination would definitely be one. And ambition would be the second. And fearless would be the third.
No procrastination, ambition, and fearless.
Yes.
That is across every industry. And I love what you said, ambition, and because people are scared to be ambitious.
Yes.
And so when you have your own ambition, do not, and that goes to the fearless, do not fear it.
Yes, we cannot be fearful. And I think, when I grew up, where I was from, no one really, and myself, until I know now, we didn't know that people got paid to put clothes together, right? So we were raised in a time period where our mothers were used to doctors and lawyers and those jobs that we all, that they knew about because that's what they grew up. So when you say, oh, Mom, I want to be a makeup artist, or Mom, I want to be a hairstylist, or I want to be a clothing stylist, they kind of like, is that a real job? You know what I'm saying? So you have to be ambitious to follow your dream and take that fear out to literally follow that ambition. And I think it's very important.
It's very important. And when they don't understand, because I had this as well, I wanted to be a writer, but nobody around me was a writer. And so I had to go out and find it. And now I'm on getting ready to publish my 11th book. And also work my full-time job. So it goes back to non-procrastination. And I love what you said. Get that credit. I'm going to add that to the 4. Take care of your credit.
Yes.
Right, because they was giving out them credit cards. They ain't teach us how to do it.
They didn't. I mean, I'm still learning. You know what I mean? I'm still learning.
And I love that. So the second question is, Ryan, first of all, you seem like a fun spirit.
I am. I'm not. That sounds kind of cocky. I've been told that I am. Let me say that.
Listen, I feel it because I'm that fun person. So you styled some of my favorites: Pooch Hall and my sorors, Brandy Evans and Legacy. Been trying to get with them, and you styled them fabulously. And then the boss lady herself, Candy Burrs, who is on my top 2 interview in this lifetime. But when I look at them, first of all, it's like, okay, I see it. But my question is, how do you know what to put on them and to make them feel, not what Chanelle said, comfortable, but walk in their, their brandiness and their legacy? and candiness when something is not, what they're used to. Because I've seen some of the style you style with them, and I'm like, okay, did he have to talk them off the ledge to get?
That's a great question. I think one of the gifts that God has given me is to truly kind of get a sort of an insight of a person by just looking at pictures of them. Of course, all of those women and all of the women and men that I work with, most especially the entertainers, I don't know. I've never met them prior to working with them, right? Of course, I may know who they are. I've probably seen them on television. But I think when I really get in a deeper sense of, okay, I'm getting ready to do this, I literally look at pictures, I research, and I just try to say, well, how can I still keep them, but elevate it at the same time? And once they're comfortable in that, you really don't have to talk them off the ledge. They'll trust you. They'll be like, "Now, Ryan, I don't know about this." But if I'm a person that if you say, "Hey, I don't like this," hey, next option. I'm not going to force you to do anything that you don't feel comfortable in. Now, however, there are times that I believe firm in some things. If I be like, "This is the shoot," I ain't no other option. Then I will put my foot down. They be like, "Now, listen, I'm gonna trust you." And usually it's always a good outcome. So.
Yes, and I see it in the pictures. Before we go, who is your favorite? Now, I don't know all of your favorites, but one of them like, oh my God, I've had the best time styling you, and then the product came out. What has been who has been one of your favorites? Listen, all of you are his favorites now.
That is such a hard question, and
Okay.
I honestly, this is the God honest truth. I cannot pick one person. I cannot. I have fun with all of my clients. We all have I have different relationships with my clients. I have great memories with all of them. So just to pick one out of the fold, I cannot. I promise you. Tanya, I cannot do it because I love them all, and they have all been so important and vital to my career and giving me such different moments. So
wonderful. I knew it was gonna be hard, but I had to ask, Ryan. That's what we do. We ask, and your answer was eloquent, and I know exactly what you mean because I'm a school principal by day. And when students get, am I your favorite? Yes. Am I your favorite? Yes. All of y'all my favorite. So, because it's the different experiences that you have with them. Thank you so much, Ryan. Now you're going to be my friend in my head, okay? I've had a fun time with you, and I'm going to kick it over to Dr. Taz. Much success to you. Continue to make people look fly, especially my Delta sorors.
I will. Thank you so much.
Well, now, Ryan, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I need to be Ryanized, and we're gonna need to make this happen, okay?
Well, hey, we can make it happen. We can make it happen.
I've been checking everybody out, and it's like, now I need an upgrade to my style, and I got the right man to help me out. Now, Ryan. Now we've talked about fashion. My co-hosts have talked about fashion, and you make women feel strong, and you make the men feel strong too, because I've looked at the different photos, and some of those men are strong men anyway, but when I look at them in the different clothing, I can see their strength sort of exuding more. Now, since you're gonna Ryanize me, let me tell you, I'm on the curvy side.
Oh, that's okay.
Like a Marilyn Monroe, and everything is real.
Curves don't scare me. Curves don't scare me.
And I know they don't, because you have styled women like Monique. So I know you like to make sure we feel comfortable in our clothes, but how do you make sure that we still look glamorous and accent our natural figure at the same time?
Oh, wow. Y'all, such good questions. I think it's just finding the right garment. If it's the right dress, the right suit, the right whatever it is, just finding the right thing that works, that insinuates all the right places, and may kind of hide some of the places that need a little, need a little extra work. And I think that's just having that eye for finding those type of things, because everybody's not a size 2, everybody's not a size 4, everybody don't have these man-made bodies. And I've been blessed not to be, I don't work with I don't think I've ever worked with somebody that has one of those man-made bodies, but I have, you like you said, I have worked with people who, are voluptuous and have curves, and I don't shy from it. And I think just finding those right pieces, we speak about Monique, the dress that she wore for her comedy special, it just insinuated all the right
Mhm.
places. I mean, it just did it. We both just fell in love with it. I mean, it looked amazing on her.
Well, let me tell you, she looked amazing. You did a wonderful job, and that's the
Thank
reason why I have to be Ryanized. Now, uh,
you.
now, Ryan, let me put on my.
Oh,
Now, we know that sunglasses or frames seem to be a signature part of your style. Now, today you have on frames, but they are not sunglasses, I don't believe. So I'm wearing the
no.
sunglasses for both of us. What
Okay.
is it, what is it about sunglasses that you love so much?
Let me tell you something. I am honored that you have studied me so much that you know that I have a love for sunglasses. So it's funny. I just love frames. So I'm gonna speak on like one of my clients, Lisa Ray, how she
Yeah.
always likes to wear white, and that's just what she wears.
Mhm.
My thing is sunglasses. I can't tell you what it is about it. I remember being in college. I went to HBCU by the name of Miles College, and I worked at a movie gallery during that time. And I can remember taking my paychecks, going to the Saks Fifth Avenue in Birmingham, Alabama at that time, and always buying me a pair of designer frames with every check that I got. And I think that kind of just developed the love of sunglasses. It was just like they looked great on me. They made me feel good. They lifted every outfit that I would put on. So I like even today, I told you guys I'm in this hoodie and this do-rag because my hair, and I'm like, let me pop on some shades, and it just kind of lifted it a little bit, so I don't look
Mhm.
like I'm not trying to look like like I'm trying to rob somebody or something. So I was like, let me just throw these Tom Fords on and lift it a little bit, and I think that's just something that has just stood with me. And you rarely see me without a pair of shades. A lot of people used to think I was cross-sided. I'm not. People thought that I was cross-sided. It was so like, why does this guy always wear these shades? But it's just something that just sticks with me and my brand. And so now that my brand has become bigger, it's just something that I just always stick with.
Well, Ryan, mine are Tom Ford also. So that
Yes, we
means that
love Tom
I'm in the
Ford.
club. We do. That means, and I'm in the club. So that means now that I'm in the frame club, and I want to be Ryan eyes, and I'm voluptuous. That means we're gonna have to connect because you may have a need for someone like me, and I don't mind being needed. But Ryan, it's been a joy speaking with you and getting to
Thank you.
see your style. And I like the fact that you embrace who you are. And that's so important for all of us to embrace who we are and own it. And I just applaud everything that you've been able to do. And I'm going to throw it back to Cyrus now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Taz. Appreciate that. And thank all of you. For those who are just tuning in, welcome. You're watching Cyrus Webb and Friends here on Amazon Live. I'm Cyrus Webb. I'm joined also by our co-host, Chanelle Coleman Wesley, Tanya White, you just saw there, Dr. Teresa A. Smith as well. Our guest today is celebrity stylist Ryan Christopher. Now, for those who don't know, Ryan and I first connected. Ryan, it's hard to believe, it was 12 years ago. I first
Wow.
interviewed
Yeah.
you on Conversations Live, the radio show. It was the very first time you came back in 2016, then again in 2018. I love all the questions by the co-host, but I wanted to ask you about this. I started off by asking you about the year you've had, and they talked to you about some of your clients and style. I want to talk about trusting yourself, Ryan, because in your business, you are someone that people look to, to make them look and feel good. How does that feel to know that you've been able to build that trust with them so that they want to be able to come to you and know that you're going to take care of them?
It's a humbling experience, and it's a humbling feeling to know that people do trust my opinion, and that's exactly what it is. It's an opinion of what I think may look great or what I think looks good, and it's so humbling to know that people really respect my opinion enough to trust it and to pay for it. So I think I think even when you go and trusting yourself, trusting myself, I'm always kind of like, okay, this before I present looks, does this really look good? Is this the one that I'm very meticulous? And so I think they know that about me, and I think they do know that I am always going to try and not even try. I'm going to always put, my artist eye into whatever look that I am creating, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability.
You since you and I first connected, as I mentioned 12 years ago, Ryan, it's been very obvious that you knew what your gift was. Have you always trusted your gift?
No, not always. I think sometimes I still don't trust it, and I say that because I always have. Sometimes I'll send friends, some of my stylist friends, like, hey, what do you think this with this? Do you like this shoe with this? Or what shoe do you like with this? And although our opinions differ all the time, I don't always trust my eye. I always second guess myself sometimes, and that's just, I think, with any artist who loves what they do, if they're going to be honest, you're going to second guess yourself sometimes. It just is what it is.
And one thing that also has become clear, and my co-host mentioned this, right, is that again we talked about the people you've worked with, but there are people like myself who followed your career over the past decade plus. What has that been like for you, from project to project and from achievement to achievement, to see the audience that you've been able to build for yourself that are now fans of you?
Cyrus, I don't even look. It's so funny. I don't even really look at that. Like I look at it as I'm just a normal guy working a regular 9 to 5. And so when I do see the large following and I do see people making comments and loving the work, it just really humbles me. It really does, because I sometimes, and people that know me personally will tell you, they were like, we don't even think you understand who you are and where you are. And I always tell them, I don't think it's meant for me to understand who I am and where. I think sometimes that's where the big headedness comes in. And but I do see it. I do see the growth. And I think that's also what keeps me moving forward, is because when you think back 2 years or 3 years or 4 years from now, I see growth, and I can only see where it's going to go to in the near future. I know things that I'm working on and things that have presented themselves to me. So, and it's like the elevation in projects. And I think that's another important thing that's always humbling when you come from doing this stuff, which may have been small back then, and then you're elevating to these larger platforms. And it's just really humbling. It's just humbling to be a part of that journey, a journey that I'm still on.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Exactly. We know it's not going anywhere. There was a great question that Tanya had to ask you, when it comes to advice, which I love what you had to share there. I want to ask you a similar question, but on a different vein, because I think for a lot of creatives out there, Ryan, whether they want to be a stylist or they want to be someone who works, in front of the camera as well, I think education is such a big part of that. How important has that been for you? And what do you normally tell people who come to you and say, hey, Ryan, I want to be able to do what you do? How important has the education part of the business been for you, and what do you normally say to them?
Education has always been very important to me. I grew up in a home where education was important to my parents. I didn't necessarily study fashion. I have a BS in business administration. But I think the importance of it is, one thing is, you can't teach anyone how to style, right? That's a God-given talent of an eye. However, you can learn a little bit of someone's process. I think a lot of times people just say, oh, I want to be a stylist, and they want to jump right in it, right? So I know, and I interned for years before I ever went on my own, and learning the business side of her process and taking a little of her process, making it my own process. And I think that's the learning part of what you can learn about styling. And if it makes nobody process wrong or right, because we all have different processes and how we do what we do, right? It's just about learning someone's process, or maybe even a couple of people's processes, and taking moments from each of those processes and making it your own. And I think it's very important that people do that. I think that's how you learn about the business side of styling.
Love that. Last question I want to ask you, Ryan. I began this whole conversation asking you about the year 2024. What's coming up that you can share with us that you're excited about?
One thing I am truly excited about, and I think I can say this, I filmed a mini docu-series, and it's maybe going to be about 10 minutes long with Life Gym Productions. I filmed it maybe a month and a half ago. I know they're still working on it and editing, but I am really excited for people to see me tell a little bit of my story and get to see a little bit of my more of my personality. So I'm very, very excited about that. And just all the things that I can't talk about that I'm excited about. You just have to keep watching and looking. I will say I am excited that I'm going to be starting back up doing my videos. I haven't done one in so long of the throwing of the clothes. I was looking for something to post on Instagram the other day. I was like, well, I posted all these videos about 50 million times that they're going to get tired of seeing them. So I said, you know what? It's time to kick that back into effect and do some of those videos again. And so I'm very looking forward to that. And the other projects I have coming up, you guys will see into 2025. I can't believe I'm even saying it's 2020, going to be 2025. Time is just flying. But you guys will see some great things from me. And I have some new adventures. And also my shoe showroom will be full in effect in 2025. I did such like a little release for it, and it's now some shoes housed in a store here in Buckhead, and so I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to see where this shoe showroom is going to go, because I know it's just it's a thing for it's a need here for that, not just for stylists, but for the everyday woman. You know, designer shoes are just hard to find, and you may not even want to, spend $2,000 on the shoe you're going to wear one time, but that's why we are creating this rental process for it.
Love that. Ryan, it's great catching up with you again. I'm so proud of you, man, and all the great
Thank
things
you.
that are coming your way. I want to thank Chanelle, want to thank Tanya, and also, of course, Dr. Taj for the great questions. Let our audience know, Ryan, how can they stay connected with the man and keep up with the updates?
Yes. So on Instagram, I'm very active on Instagram. It's Ryan is Style. My website is www.ryanchristopherstylist.com. Ryan Christopher on Facebook. I'm not really active on anything else, but you can definitely interact with me on Instagram. I am a big Instagrammer.
Ryan, we're excited about all the great things. Ladies, great questions as always. And to our audience, thank you all so much for being with us for another great episode of Cyrus Webb and Friends. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.